For months, a day hasn't gone by without seeing a headline about Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or Joe Biden. But politicians and experts say we need to be watching not just the presidential race, but the House of Representatives and the Senate too.
Ontario jobs are depending on it.
Premier Doug Ford making the case on Monday. He says cooperation needs to happen regardless of the outcome.
We're the #1 export destination for 17 U.S. states and #2 export destination for another 11 U.S. states.
Retired Carleton University professor Melissa Hausman said this when asked to reflect on the past couple of years.
The most recent session of Congress has been the least productive in the last 50 years.
It comes on the heels of the Republicans retaking the House of Representatives with a small majority after the 2022 midterms. But it's been a turbulent 2 years full of partisanship and procedural wrangling.
Because of the hard right Freedom Caucus, basically they've got enough votes to be a real veto power within the Republican Party.
It took 15 rounds of voting to get Kevin McCarthy into the Speaker's chair at the start of 2023, and he was ousted less than a year later. Mike Johnson came in after. The U.S., just like Canada, has distinct political responsibilities at the federal and state levels of government. For example, it falls to many state legislatures to create federal districts, and that could have major implications on the House of Representatives, which is why voting on so-called down-ballot races at the local and regional level is key too. Politics and rules within each of the 50 states all contribute to a national outcome. And with all 435 House seats up for grabs every 2 years, control helps.
It's really a bit nuts because in addition to legislating, the people who are in Congress are what's called dialing for dollars nights after their congressional sessions.
The House takes a lead in government funding and passing or stalling a president's agenda.
I think the House is more important. And I think that is going to flip in our favor. We don't need the House that we have right now that kills every bill.
Democratic supporters are hopeful, as are Republicans.
Congressional candidates are in a lot of trouble in Florida right now if they're Democrats. They're really running for their lives.
A third of the Senate is up for re-election too. Democrats have the slimmest of holds, and control could flip. The Senate confirms the president's major appointments and votes on legislation as well.
I can't really make a prediction. I think it would be a fool's errand to do so because so much of this depends on the power of the states, the towns, the counties.
Meanwhile, we'll be tracking all of this on City News 24/7 and citynews.ca. In Toronto, Nick Westoll, City News.